So, for some of you who don't know, I am the illustrious Perry James, and you're watching Hashtag Truth with Scott Larson. Cut! Somebody get that Zuckerberg guy on the phone. We gotta get Larson shut down.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Pro Wrestling Union returns to Union, South Carolina for Monsters Brawl. Saturday, October 29th at the Union County Recreation Center, 115 Thomas Street. General admission $10. Kids 12 and under get in for free. It's the best value for the best professional wrestling in the upstate. Check out some of the best independent stars on the scene today as they do battle, including in the main event. It's going to be the unlucky 13-man Battle Royale, where the winner gets a shot at the Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Championship. Also, women's professional wrestling will be on hand as Brittany Jade will take on the Dragon of Malice, Jasmine Howe, in a singles competition. Also, interim Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion Drew Hood will be doing battle with the monster, the Real Cutshaw. All of this and more, Saturday, October the 29th, Union County Recreation Center.
Monsters Brawl.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Can you hear me? Everything looking good?
Well, you can only make this look, I work with what I got, Scott.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's do this all over again. 29th of October, you are having a show. It is a Halloween-based show. My first question of the night on the other one, and I'm going to do it again, is it just seems like every wrestling show comes out in October to do Halloween. Is it because maybe wrestling is Halloween set to violence?
Well, I don't know if it's maybe the violence or anything like that. It's just that Halloween is known to be fun. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I mean, hands down. Everybody loves Christmas. I love Halloween. And it's not really just for like scary movies and stuff like that. I love horror movies. I am a horror movie buff. I'm just a movie buff in general. If I wasn't doing wrestling promoting, I'd be doing a movie critic and all this other stuff just to watch movies all day. But but I mean, like everything about well, you think about wrestling in the sense of how Halloween is, the dressing up and being this like character that you're wanting everybody to recognize. That's all part of wrestling, right? So,
of course. So
it kind of goes hand in hand. So to me, wrestling is supposed to be fun for the audience. They're supposed to sit there. They're like on a roller coaster ride. It's gonna get exciting at times. It's gonna get a little scary, but it's a thrill.
You're gonna hate what happens. You're gonna like what happens.
Yeah.
You're gonna scream at some people. You're gonna cheer for others. That's the way the wrestling show goes.
It's a beautiful experience. And it goes hand in hand. So
Missy said much better. Thank you, Missy. I don't hear the echo anymore, so I think we've solved the problem. I have to use this screen instead of the other one. Brino Royce, my buddy, my friend, who I don't hate. Brino, how you doing? I dropped the bomb the other night, and we dropped the bomb the other night about me and Mr. Ron Emerson not really hating each other. We were trying to run a work, and it worked for a little while, but we wanted to accomplish something with Brino Royce. It didn't quite happen, so we had to stop it because we were behind the scenes laughing, but I really had people who wanted to kill Ron and all that stuff, and it was not a fun thing. But we're here to talk about the 29th. I'm going to start off with playing this promo because this guy came right after you announced his match, and he called you out specifically in his promo. Not the guy he's wrestling, but you. So let's go ahead and listen to Mr. Drew Hood speak to Cole, and I want to hear Cole's answer to what he had to say. So here we go. It's about 2 minutes long because Drew Hood is never at a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen. So here is Drew Hood.
This simply will not stand. This simply will not stand. Cole, what are you doing? You're You got me saying it now. You got me so stressed and anxious. Your Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion, DHNHD, the Megastar, the Prince of Sports Entertainment, going one-on-one with the freaking monster cut show? Go! When I said I wanted proper challenges and I wanted to go into Halloween weekend enjoying my time, I thought I was going to be hosting this little costume contest. I thought maybe with the kids trick-or-treating and, feeding those fat, cheap little children, that's great. That's what I thought that weekend was going to be, but no, Cole, buddy, pal, you put DHNHD Drew Hood in high demand in a one-on-one contest for the Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Championship against a monster. Okay. Cutshaw, I hope you are a reader, that you've studied up on your literature, because I'm going to be the Van Helsing to your monster. The reality is, DHNHD will be Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion at the end of the night. And all you chubby-cheeked little children chewing on your little chocolates, you will bear witness. You will bend the knee to the best of us, DHNHD, the Megastar. Be everything you always wanted. Be. Yeah? Give me a second. I gotta unwind. Cole, you did this. You got me wound up. You got me all messed up, Cole. This is your fault, okay? Oh, God. All right, let's just turn on some TV. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So, Mr. Cole McAbee, you've got Drew Hood in shambles. Tell me, explain yourself.
Okay, what is there for me to explain? All right, Drew Hood, who is, as much as he hates the term, he is the interim Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion. He takes offense to the term interim, and he shouldn't, because he knows as long as he is the holder of that championship, when Chase Emery comes back from his medical leave, because technically Chase cannot wrestle in the state of South Carolina until December.
Okay. That was going to be my next question, but thank you for answering it.
Yes, because we do know that Chase Emery's been wrestling in North Carolina, which he passed his physicals there, but because of the condition and everything in South Carolina, the rules, he cannot wrestle until near the end of December. But anyway, as long as Drew holds on to that title.
But I will say this as a fan. He might not be able to wrestle, but that don't mean he can't buy a ticket and show up.
Well, I mean, why at this point, why would he, in all honesty, because he is the heavyweight champion, and I know Drew's going to hate me for saying this, he is the lineal heavyweight champion. So therefore, the actual heavyweight title lineage still stops at Chase. But Drew is front of the line no matter how you look at it. And then at the end of the night, someone's going to walk away with 2 belts. But that's going to be once Chase is cleared in the state of South Carolina. Now to get back to Drew. Since winning the championship, and he has been nothing but gracious, to me, up to this point. Right. He's always been like, boss, I'm gonna be the best champion. And he always runs down Chase, and I hate that he does that, because it's nothing to laugh about the medical condition that Chase went through. It was a very scary situation. I may not always agree with Chase and Derek, but I was with them on this whole thing, and made sure that Chase was taken care of. But anyway, so I got him a match with Lodi, WCW alumni, a legend in this business. And he's like, yeah, sure, boss, man. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then he's going to like, yeah, man, I'm going to be the best champion I've got that shows the most heart and all this other stuff. And I'm not going to do some match in North Carolina behind your back and all that other stuff. What you got for me, boss, man? What you got for me? And I said, I got the real Cutshaw. And in the conversation, he went silent. And the last words he said to me before he hung up, before I got that promo, was, I hate you, Cole McAbee. And
like I said, he's never at a loss for words. Now, he's claiming he is the champion. There's no interim, but we know the facts. And so what you're telling me as a fan is when Chase Emery is cleared to wrestle again, he will become the champion again because he never lost the championship. And whoever is holding the interim title is going to be first in line to face him, correct? So you can combine the titles.
Pretty much. It's how it's always been done for boxing, for MMA.
Right.
When a champion is unable to fight because of a medical condition that does not coincide with something that happened in the ring, right, they're always given a grace period. Within that grace period, if they're unable to come back, they have two choices. They can either forfeit the title or they can ask to go under a absence where they still hold on to the physical title while having an interim champion. And then within that time period, if he doesn't respond past that period, then of course he has to forfeit the title no matter what. But Chase is apparently ready to go because he's wrestled in North Carolina just a couple of weeks ago. And at Heroes to Legends Wrestling. In fact, you're going to see that match on the YouTube channel for Pro Wrestling Union before too much longer.
Great.
But, I mean, Chase looks to be in great shape. He's bulked up and everything like that. But something that Drew has to also remember, for everybody that has wrestled for Pro Wrestling Union, and we've had challengers for that PWU heavyweight title, and we've had people to come all over for it. We've had JD Drake coming forward on 2 occasions. We've had guys come out from Texas. We've had guys being shipped to Texas. We have guys going to Florida. We had guys going to Georgia. We have guys going to Tennessee. We've had Colby Carino challenging for the championship.
I was there for that show.
Yeah. And before Chase Emery had to go on medical leave, it was scheduled for Brock Anderson to wrestle Chase for that championship.
Right.
So, but things change, cards subject to change and things of that nature. So what we went with is what we went with. And Drew ended up winning the interim title. And now he's finding out what it's going to be like if he gets that heavyweight title. Because if he's that concerned over somebody like the real Cutshaw, and don't get me wrong, Cutshaw is a major individual to be getting in the ring with.
Yes,
but if he gets easily rattled over that kind of doesn't put a lot of confidence in me as a promoter to a champion. Right. I feel like if I know for a fact Chase Emery would not have cut a promo like that.
No, and he's just as bad if you want to talk, good, bad, evil, whatever. He's just as bad. But I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have called you out. I think he would have called his opponent out. Chase is just that kind of guy. He looks at his opponent. You are just the guy who pays him the money, which is true,
yes.
and puts it together. But he's got to do what he's got to do as the champion. And I think Drew Hood's gonna, like you said, gonna figure that out as he goes along.
Well, there is already a banter between these two. There already is. Drew has already been making fun of Chase in regards to his medical condition, talking about, oh, you don't have the heart for this business. Oh, all this other stuff. Don't have a heart attack. Right. And it's okay. You're getting a little personal there, but you got Chase Emery that has been calling Drew Hood the JV champion, and things like that, or the placeholder.
The placeholder. That now again. Those were kind of your words too. He's kind of holding the place until the champion comes back, and then with that belt, he's entitled to a shot. Whoever holds that belt.
We'll see.
It could be Cutshaw. This could be a non-conversation after the 29th if Cutshaw wins.
Exactly. We're not trying to put the cart before the horse here, exactly. And I don't want you to think that. That's why I said whoever is the holder of the interim heavyweight championship, they are going to be going against Chase as soon as he's cleared. That is Chase's first match back. And basically what Chase has been doing up in North Carolina, because he's been passing the physical, so there's nothing that we can say about it here. He just can't defend the Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight title because by our bylaws, we got to sign off on that stuff. And to be honest with you, I thought it was kind of foolish for him to try to go back this early. But if the doctor gave him a certain clearance and then he goes to North Carolina and he's passing the physicals there, that's being required by the promotions and the bookers there. If he's passing them, there's nothing I can say about it, but I got to follow the rules here in South Carolina. That's all.
Exactly. I'm going to catch up on some stuff, and then I've got something else to say about that. Sean Duffy said hello from Fallon, Nevada. What's going on, Sean? Oh, here we go. The Prince of Cruiserweights. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? We're going to have him on Friday night, so can't wait to see him.
All right.
Missy said, "Oh, a little Jeff Farmer in there," as she was watching the promo.
Yep.
Ron Everson Jr. of the Wrestling Wire. I got it right that time, Ron. The Wrestling Wire. He canceled his show Thursday night, but I'm pretty sure he'll be on Sunday night around 4 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. He's also had Cole on plenty of times. Great show. Don't miss it. Sean Duffy said, "Yeah, they're all over there, but what about the West Coast tours?" He wants to know if you take the Pro Wrestling Union Championship or any other to the West Coast.
Well, let's think about this. I'm actually scheduled to be out in California in May.
Uh-oh. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Gonna be
Jacob.
hitting up Culver City, Anaheim, and Corona.
Ooh, nice. That's a good little. Is it a vacation or business?
Well, a bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay, I got you. I ain't gonna get into it because that's that's your business. Ron said, "Money talks. Can't fly across the country for a hot dog and a cup of coffee." We've many times we agree with that. We totally agree with that.
Ron's been in my locker room. They've never got a hot dog and a handshake. They got a handshake with an envelope with money in it.
There you go. And probably food on the side, but it wasn't hot dogs. Daxel Real says, "I have a question for you." I'm going to speed up all the way to where he asks his question. Do you have any ideas for your dream to be in AEW or WWE or NXT one day? Well, he's the owner promoter, Dax.
Now, hold up.
Okay.
Just because I'm no longer an active wrestler doesn't necessarily mean that I wouldn't be gladly taking a paycheck from Uncle Tony or Mr. Paul or anything like that nowadays.
Okay.
Hey, man, there's a lot of things that can be done behind the scenes. A lot of things. And if anything like that was to ever come available to me, I would be more than happy to do it. Because I knew a long, long time ago when I was an active wrestler, when I had opportunities to move up and get opportunities to be looked at and everything like that, I knew from the start that I never wanted to be the person on the main stage because I never saw myself as the main stage person. A lot of people have that dream and a lot of those dreams do get crushed. I was a realist. I thought that I was at least smart enough that I could be somebody that can help build things and all that other stuff. So when I had the opportunity to do it and I got told from the word jump, they're like, "Oh, nah, you're not going to, no, not you." I was told I'd be 3 shows in and I'd be closed.
Isn't that amazing how people can, and we do it all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Me being a podcaster, I've seen some shows and went, man, them shows ain't gonna last. They'll be lucky to last 6 months, and then here it is. 5 years later, I'm doing the show 5 years later, and that company's still running. You know what I'm saying? None of us have a crystal ball. None of us know exactly, and I'll use you as an example. None of us know the drive that Cole McAbee has when you're off camera, when you're doing your thing, when you're calling it. The only people that know are you and the wrestlers and everybody else that you do business with. That's the only people who really know the drive that you have.
If you want to see my drive, you could actually see the shows that we put together. You can look at them on YouTube, and stuff like that. You can see the quality of the show. I'm not talking about the overall production. I'm not talking about the sparkly lights and the fireworks and all the cool little graphics. I'm talking about watch the actual program. Watch what happens in the ring. You're not going to be getting anything less than top tier professional wrestling inside of that ring. That's what matters to me. You can throw paint on a pig. It's still a pig. You know, that sort of thing.
That's it. And I love I love owner promoters that get out there and do their thing. And if they promise you a product, they give you that product. And you're one of them. You are always going to be one of them. Speaking of promoters, Manny Mac said always heard good things about Pro Wrestling Union. Manny Mac has got a show coming up for October. His show is so big, he's got to split it in 2 parts, and we're going to talk about that later on in the show. But Manny Mac, we will have your show up there after a while. I will be talking about it.
Hey, I love what Manny Mac's doing with XWW. I love it, man. Some of the stuff that he's got going on there, what he's been building towards, and let's think about this. And I'm sure he could tell you the same thing a lot better than I can. He took a hiatus from wrestling for a little while, and then he had like a slow build back, and then of course COVID, like everybody else. So once again, slow build back, and all of a sudden, look at where he is now. And it was putting in the work and everything like that. And, so my hat's off.
And he's a genius doing videos. He's a genius at promoting his show like you. He doesn't just put up a poster and hope people show up. He puts out videos. He makes sure that his wrestlers put out promos.
Scott, half of the promoters that I've seen out there don't even put out a damn poster.
There's a few out there that don't. I'll tell you, you're not preaching to the choir, brother. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying.
You're just, hey, the truth is the truth. This is the hashtag truth. The truth is the truth, man.
Okay, because I'll say this, like with Manny Mac and everything like that, what he's built with like the camera work and everything like that, and he's been doing little by little, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, take Jimmy Ward. He took his backyard and turned it into the nicest wrestling
venue. The venue. I no longer will refer to it as the backyard. I got yelled at too many times. Venue.
That's why I said he turned his backyard and turned it into the nicest wrestling venue there is.
Right.
William Roberts at APW Chester. They always had consistently good shows and stuff like that, and it's always been there. But just all of a sudden they hit a new stride, and they've been going strong. So there's a lot of promoters that are out there that are putting in the hard work, and it shows that they're putting in the hard work.
And the wrestlers, it seems, for those promoters are doing what they need to do too, as far as promoing, getting the posters out, talking. Every time they come on a podcast, they're talking about the show they're going to and things like that. It just seems to me, and I could be wrong, people probably yell at me for saying this, but to me, it starts with the promoter. If the promoter is on cue, then usually the wrestlers and everybody follow that cue. If you have a lazy promoter, owner who just puts out a poster and doesn't really care, usually the wrestlers behind him don't care as long as they get paid. That's just being honest.
Yeah, but
And they're lucky if they get 30 people to show up at that show. Where the ones that work hard usually have a pretty good crowd. I won't put out numbers, but they usually have a pretty good crowd. Right. And we're gonna talk tonight about how you're gonna bring a pretty good crowd to the Union Center there. Let me catch up, man. There's a lot of people talking. Thank you guys, everybody, for showing up. Sean Duffy said, "Ask Scott, I know too many companies to out wrestlers to work for that not to happen." Talking about getting the money. Long live Ringsiders. This guy was a fan of mine, been a fan of hashtag Truth since the beginning. Ringsiders is him and all his children. They would go to wrestling shows and they'd wear masks and they'd all sit up in the front, so they called themselves Ringsiders. I thought that was perfect. Sean said, "Best of the West and Blacklist Pro East Bay Pro and CWA will happily accommodate you when you come out to California."
Sean, I'm probably going to have to hit you up on that a little bit closer to my trip then.
Yep, he will definitely know. Best of the West. I know you know this guy. I know you know Marcus Erics, right?
Yeah, I do.
He wrestles for Best of the West when he was in California. So
Nice.
So as a matter of fact, he calls that home. So if you ask him, Manny Max had always heard good things. We already put that up there. It was in the WWE. I will take on the game for his wife any day. Okay. All right. I'm not getting into that because I think Paul would do whatever it takes. Yeah.
Happily married.
Yeah, there you go.
9 years.
Sean said HWA comes to mind with that statement. I love HWA, but it is true. They need to, in my humble opinion, and I'm the HWA fan club president, they need to do stuff a little bit quicker. And that's just my opinion. Dax says, we love you, Uncle Scott. I appreciate it, man. Manny Max said, glad you're doing your thing, Scott. We need more podcasters like you. There are more podcasts out there like me, bro. You just got to go out there and find them, man, without a doubt. They're there, buddy. Cole, big fan of the show. I watch them on YouTube every time they drop. Keep up the great work, said Manny Max.
Thank you, Manny.
That will preach, said Missy.
That's the fact.
Scott needs a business card with the trading cards. Just saying. I don't need a business card, man. I'm pretty good. I'm doing pretty good out there with just word of mouth. I'm happy that people like Cole and everybody come on the show and talk about their shows. And I have autographed copies of Scott's trading cards. Well, those are worth about 10 cents a piece, brother, but I appreciate it.
Hey, it's more than the nickel that my autograph brings. So
it's all good, man. So let's talk about another match that's coming up on your Halloween show. Two young ladies are gonna have at it. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Tell me
have at it. That's understatement. That is an understatement. They've already been having at it.
That is true. As a matter of fact, you just led me right into it. Let's go ahead and play the promo and show them exactly what you're talking about. So we're going to come back after this 1-minute promo. Jasmine Howe and Brittany Jade, they're going to light it up on the 29th. Here it is.
Bro, we should honestly go all over the world.
Everywhere, every state.
What?
Hey! Now let me go! And October 29th, I'm gonna beat your ass! You hear me?
I have seen Jasmine Howe a couple of times, and that girl seems unhinged. That's the best word I can use to describe her. That girl is unhinged.
She's not unhinged. She is a fighter. I mean, just that is what she is. She is a straight up fighter. And Brittany Jade is a very vicious individual in the ring. I think I put this in a post. This isn't a girls match. This is two badass women. They're going to get in the match. They're going to get in the fight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't have a pick on this one because I've seen Brittany up close and personal on a couple of occasions. I know how good she is. I have seen Jasmine in video, and I damn sure know how good she is. So at this point, it's just the winner's going to be the fans on this one. That's all it is.
Now I see that a lot more women are wrestling in our area. So I've got to ask you. I've asked you this before on many podcasts. I'm going to ask you again. How close are we to having a Pro Wrestling Union Women's Championship?
It may be closer than you think. There are some things that are going to be coming up that I'll explain at a much later time. But after 2023, Pro Wrestling Union is going to be going through a transition. But I'll go more into detail as that gets a little bit later. But as of right now, we got things set up for the rest of this year. We're going to go into 2023 with some great shows, and we'll be putting that information out as it gets closer and closer. And then I'll let everybody know exactly what the plan is with Pro Wrestling Union from there.
There you go. Without a doubt. Dak said, Cole McAbee, you need to come to North Carolina. Brother, talk to Edge about your business. Well, why? I mean, why would you go to North Carolina to talk to Edge? I mean, he's got a great business going here.
Well, I mean, me go meet with Adam, or Adam, like, what was he talking about?
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have to be a little bit more clear on that, Dax. Alan said, rest in peace, Tro Renegade. Yes, a good friend of ours that does our e-feds. And he was a professional wrestler himself, passed away a little while back, and it hurt every one of us. So, yes, rest in peace, Tro Renegade. We love you, man. We miss you. I know you're looking down. What's that?
I said, I'm sorry to hear about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wrestled it. He lived in West Virginia, but he wrestled a lot in Texas, believe it or not. He loved traveling over to Texas and wrestling. He was a good guy. Okay. Absolutely. Sean said, absolutely. DM is open. Marcus is our hometown hero. There you go.
Nice.
I'm starting the bids at 7 cents for both cards. You're funny, bro. You're funny. Missy said, Cole, you should not put yourself down. You are a great talent and a great mind for this business, and I will second that without a doubt.
Oh, I don't put myself down. I'm just a realist. You know.
Ron Emerson said that's going to be a badass match, talking about the ladies, and yes, it's going to be. There's one more match that you are, talking about that you have publicly put out. I don't know any. I know of those 3 matches. You might be able to give us a few more, maybe not. I don't know if you want to let the cat out of the bag or not, but we got the 13-man over-the-top battle royal we're going to talk about here in a minute. Chris Thunder Anderson said, what's Cole McAbee? Good to see you. Glad things are going so well.
Thank you, Thunder. I love that guy. Thunder Anderson is the best.
He's having to come back from a couple of surgeries, and
I know,
and he's recuperating right now, and I hope you're healing well, sir. I talk to Luke all the time, and it's no. I gotta put this out there, bro. I gotta put this out there because I just can't see it, and I know why. But I was told that Chris had 2 operations on his foot,
right?
And to walk around, they gave him a walker to help him get around. And being Chris Thunder Anderson, the ego, everything, he doesn't want to use it. So without a doubt. See, Chris said, thank you. Be back soon. 2023 is wide open. I can't wait, man. And like I said, I hope your recovery is doing well.
I had a lengthy conversation with him not too terribly long ago. This is when I guess they were out of their home. They had to get something fixed inside their home for a few days, and he just sent me his number, and we talked, and dear Lord, we were probably on the phone for almost 2 hours just talking about all things wrestling and then just life in general.
He said he's off it now. I knew it wouldn't be long.
But yeah, he's great. He's great. Him and Missy both, they're great people. So
without a doubt, love the whole family. Sean said, R.I.P. Hell's Gatekeeper holding the door open for Teddy Bear. He's talking again about Tro Renegade. Yes, without a doubt, man. I am gonna miss him. I was thinking about maybe doing a show soon honoring him. That way everybody else will know who he is. But he was a great Indies wrestler. Like I said, he was from West Virginia, wrestled in West Virginia and wrestled in Texas a lot. Matter of fact, when the funeral was posted, there was people from all over, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, that came to his funeral to talk about him. And I just hope half as many people show up at my funeral when I die as they did for Tro. So without a doubt. But let's get back to the show, man, because that's what we're here for. Let's get happy again. Let's talk about this show coming up, man. We got the 13-man over the top battle royal. How did that come about?
Well, I was thinking about what's Halloween themed and everything to that nature, and I thought about the number 13. It's such an unlucky number, so I thought it'd be so appropriate that if you got 13 men in a situation where one man comes out on top, but one lucky person, and give them a shot at the heavyweight championship, which it would be for the interim title with Drew Hood or Cutshaw, depending on who wins this match. So that was where the idea came from. It was more or less like, you could do 30 men, or you could do 20 and all that other stuff. It's like, but just to do it just a tiny bit different, I was like, 13. We already got some other matches that are going to be on hand that have not been advertised. Right. And the only way you're going to find out about that is to come to the show.
There you go. That answered my next question because I was going to ask.
I'm not spoiling anything. Okay.
Oh, I got you. But we've seen some people that are on the posters, that are on some of the things. I saw some other wrestlers, so I know it's going to be a great show without a doubt. Sean said, Cole, maybe you know a big man that would like to make my gimmick teddy bear happen for real. Okay. We'll have to show him teddy bear. I'll have to send him a picture of teddy bear, but
okay.
He's different. I'll just say that without a doubt.
Well, I'm already having to put up with different gimmicks as it is anyway.
I'm hoping the real Cutshaw shows up and does his gimmick where he puts the cage on his head. I'm hoping that real Cutshaw shows up.
Well, sometimes he has this thing where some of his personalities combine. So you might get like Cooter Shaw mixed with the Monster, or Vinny Vegas mixed in with Shooter. So right. You never know. Well, the only way to find out is if you hit him in the head hard enough.
Missy wants to know, who are the wrestlers in the Over the Top Battle Royal? Give me a second here.
Hold up. I mean, I can do it without really. All right, so we got
go ahead.
We got Deion Johnson, we got Cam Jackson, we got Tommy Django. Chris Vallow has been suspended from Pro Wrestling Union because he put his hands on Matty G, but Matty G also suspended himself because he returned to push to Chris Vallow at our last show. So Tommy's on his own. We have the magnificent Don Furio. We've got Corey Sparks, Jackson Cage, Buggy Wright, the Scottish Warhammer, Mitch Robinson, Antonio Morgan, Christopher Prince, the newly christened Christopher Prince, no longer Chris Phoenix, Cooper Housley, and Peterbilt, and Bebop. That's all 13.
What in the world is going on with my computer is going nuts all of a sudden.
It's okay. It's okay.
Look, I put the unlucky 13 up on the screen, and now my whole program doesn't want to work. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, it fits with the theme.
There it goes. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is crazy.
So those are the men that are getting an opportunity for a chance for the heavyweight title in December, which is Holiday Havoc, which will be December 3rd. And the only thing that we've released so far for that is that we have one half of the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champions, Ella Envy. She will be part of that event. So something to look forward to.
Very nice. And there's also something that was on Pro Wrestling Union's website. There's going to be a giveaway.
Oh, yes, for the Halloween show. It is a Figures Incorporated Ring of Honor World Television Championship.
There she is, right there. There's the exact thing right off of your Pro Wrestling Union page. It was put up on October 10th.
Yep. See, the last show, we did a couple of autographed action figures from Matt and Jeff Hardy. Some lucky fan got to walk away with both of those. And, we thought that it did very well. So it was like, why not do it again? And I came across this belt thanks to my good friend, Roger Gleaton, the man behind CWA Wrestling over in Orangeburg. So, I was like, well, here we go. This will be the thing for October. I think a lot of people would love to get their hands on something like this.
No doubt. I like this. The way and I can't click on the see more because I took this right off of your page, but you could probably tell the rest. It says one drawing. If you want one ticket, it's $1, 5 for $5, 15 for 10. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
All right. So one, you can get one ticket for $1, 5 for 5. But if you get $10, you get an extra 5 tickets. But if you do $25, we double your tickets.
Wow. See, there you go. And that's the way to win a belt, man. Get 25, 50 tickets to put in there. It increases your chances.
And you got to think that these replica belts nowadays, and then this is from Figs Incorporated. This isn't like one of these bootlegs from overseas or anything like that. They're pricey. They're like anywhere between $350 to $400.
Oh yeah.
So, somebody can put in $25 and may have that lucky ticket, and they just walked away with a cool wrestling memorabilia just by luck of the draw. And that's all, and that is all done. We don't pull a ticket out before anybody gets a chance. We bring the thing in the ring, we get somebody to pull it out right there in front of everybody, we read the ticket, we double, we triple check it because we want to make sure the right person is getting it. And
she said the winner, Sean says, I call dibs on the belt. There's a lot of people that are loving that belt.
Hey man, yeah, and it's a very nice looking. It's very nice looking. I mean, it really is. Like I said, like Roger Gleaton, he was in Silva, North Carolina. He was selling some merch and everything like that, and I just happened to see it. And I spoke with him, and I was like, how much would you want for it? So he cut me a deal, and I was like, okay, well, I said, this is what I'm gonna do. So
there you go. See, I love that. See, so you come, you got a great wrestling show. You can come, concessions are probably going to be out of this world. You also could come win a belt.
Right.
See the
trick-or-treating.
Oh,
costume contest. Get to see some great matches. And those are the only 3 matches that we've advertised. So, but there's going to be more.
Those are just the 3 matches. We're 3 great matches.
Yeah, we're just advertising those 3 great matches. If you want to find out the rest, you need to come to Union on October the 29th. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
My big question, and again, I'm just throwing it out there because I'm a fan and I'm a couch booker and I know what I would do, but I would go just to find out if the champion, the true heavyweight champion, is going to show up. He might not be able to wrestle, but you never know. He might show up just to watch the interim match.
Right. And the thing is that I know for a fact that Derek Vanderford will be there.
And there's another man who has never had a loss for words, and stalks you a lot, even out in the woods.
Yeah, he stalks me a lot. Tells stories about where he and I meet, and all this other stuff.
Missy said, "Get you a Snickers and a belt." I like that. Missy wants to know who your ring announcer is going to be.
Ron Emerson.
There you go. The Ron Emerson, the Saint.
That's right. Ron Emerson, the Saint. He will be the ring announcer.
Sean wants to know, do you need to be present to win, or can he buy raffle tickets from Nevada?
Yes. Please be present to win.
Good try, though, Sean. I give you an A for effort, buddy. I really do.
Please be present for that one. But no, I'm really looking forward to this. It's my first Halloween themed show that I've ever get to do, and I wanted to be special.
Missy said she will be there. That's great. Yes. We know there'll be at least one person in the audience. No, I'm just kidding. There'll be many. Trust me. With that, with the people.
Hey, I have heard it before. hey, man, there's only 15 people out in that audience. You better go out there and work like there's still 100.
And most good wrestlers do. Most good wrestlers will. It doesn't matter how many people are out there. They'll go out there and give it their all because they're professionals.
Some are, yeah.
Okay, well, I told you earlier before we came on live that I had to bring this up, so I'm only going to bring it up for a short time. Like I said, you can tell the story, you can tell me to bug off, you can say you don't want to talk about it, but you were present at another show at AWL. When a certain person showed up at that show, you were trying to keep the peace, and you got slapped by said person. Inquiring minds want to know what happened.
Well, I mean, the whole short of it is that he had a trespass. I was being the level-headed person, just trying to tell him, you need to leave. This is not the way to do things. Jimmy Ward said something to him that really set him off, and at that point, that's where I got slapped. And and my thing was, the hell are you doing? So I mean, I'm just trying to shove him out, and next thing you know, he grabs me by my shirt, pulls me down. I've got 2 bad knees and everything like that. So, like doing the hockey maneuver and stuff like that, I mean, I'm gonna go down like a ton of bricks. The only thing that I can say, 2 things. One, it cost this individual his job. So, that's one payday he doesn't get anymore. And that's unfortunate because, it's not like I hate the guy or anything like that. I'm not trying to sue him or anything like that because, I mean, sue him for what? Really? But number 2, and something I can take solace in, and I think this says something about me that a lot of people just don't really think about because, a lot of people have not seen me in the ring or know how tough of an individual I still kind of am. I just don't have that persona as a tough guy anymore.
Right.
But, this was a slap, and this guy is a former Marine, heavy bodybuilder.
He's a big guy. Let's just put it that way. He's a big guy.
And you could hear the sound. It was a shotgun blast going across my face. He's been known to knock out people with that slap. I was still on my feet. And if that was the hardest he can hit, I've been hit harder.
I love that. Sorry. I love that. That I love about you, sir. That is awesome. That's all we're gonna say about that. I was asked by many people to bring it up, and I think we did it classy.
I mean, did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt. I mean, I won't lie to you, it hurt. I mean, you got open palm slapped by a big giant of a guy, and he is a big guy, right across the face, right at the ear, and right here at the base of this jawline. It hurt. He was trying to knock me down.
I saw the video. I saw it from behind. The video was from whoever shot it from behind. You were actually, your back was turned to us.
Yeah, he was trying to repeat what he did to Jimmy Ward. He knocked Jimmy Ward on his ass. He didn't knock Cole McAbee on his ass.
Ron Emerson said, well, you're in the clear anyways. He won't watch this. Whether he watches it or not, we haven't mentioned his name. We're not saying anything bad about him. We're just talking about what happened. If you want to
not saying anything bad about him. I mean, and if he takes offense to say that, I've taken harder shots from better people, then, that's on him. But I mean,
how many wrestlers out there have said that about other wrestlers? I mean, come on, that's a everyday thing, bro. That's part of the business. It's part of the business. Even if it's the truth, it's still part of the business.
It is, but that's the truth. And I mean, I even had JD Drake, okay, AEW superstar, to hit me up when he saw the video. And his comment to me was like, "You're not supposed to be taking a bump, you goof." and I shot him a thing. I said, "Watch the video again." I didn't, and he laughed at it.
Did you ever? Since you brought up JD Drake, have you ever taken a
shot
from
Yep.
JD Drake.
Before JD Drake is the person that he is today, he was still. And here's the thing: he's virtually been unchanged over the years. The only thing that's changed about him, in all honesty, other than his wisdom and knowledge about the business, and his hair has just gotten a little gray. That's about it.
Yeah.
Nothing else has really changed about him. Well, sorry. There's one other thing. His gear got better. He used to have just a standard black singlet and black boots.
Okay.
But yeah, I've taken a knife edge chop from James Drake, and I would probably say out of anybody that's given me a chop, minus one from John Schuyler, it was definitely one of the hardest chops I've ever taken in my life. But that's not what got me. What got me was an insecurity that I got from both him and Rob Killjoy at the same time.
Ooh. Ow.
That about knocked me out.
Ow. Yeah. That would do damage about like Gunther did to Sheamus at
I love that match. Don't get me started on that match.
It was the best match of the night, hands down.
I'm just putting this out here. I have said it long before he was Gunther, before he got signed to WWE, when he was still Walter over in Europe, when he was still wrestling for like What Culture Wrestling and Defiant and Progress. Before he got signed, I was like all about Walter, and everybody who kept saying, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But now they see him on WWE now, and they get it.
Right. I've seen him do those chops in person at shows. I've seen him. They're breathtaking, man. I don't see how people. I would imagine some people have lost their breath.
Look! It's not even, for me. It's not even so much as the chops. It's just the fact that this is a mauler, a beast of a man. And the thing is,
and he's agile for as big as he is. He can actually do top rope stuff and
he's dropped weight and he looks phenomenal and everything like that now. And I love the fact that he's done stuff like that for his own health and benefit. Right. But it's the fact that wrestling, in some ways, has been made a joke of. And in all honesty, it is the fault of the people involved in the business. Okay. I'm just throwing this out there. When I started wrestling and everything like that, and I got some additional training with Manny Fernandez, my mindset on how a match should look like and what it should be changed. I didn't want to be goofy. I didn't want to do silly playtime stuff. I wanted people that sat there and thought, oh, well, this is just a show. This is just a business. I wanted them to question what I was doing in the ring. I wanted them to sit there and go, I know this is supposed to be a show, but that looked like that hurt. I know this is supposed to be.
That two look like they really hate each other and want to beat the hell out of each other.
This seemed about as legitimate as it can be.
Exactly.
And maybe I was successful, maybe I wasn't, but it changed my perception of the business and how matches should be. Yes, wrestling should be fun and everything like that, but the silliness can only go so far. This is just my opinion on things.
I mean, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place for the Sami Zayn type stuff. There's a time and a place for it.
Okay, that's different, because when he's in the ring, is he being, other than the match that he did at WrestleMania with the Jackass guys?
Right.
Is he being silly? Not really. He's wrestling. He's wrestling his own style. He's still wrestling. Oh, yeah. Like the match between him and Shinsuke Nakamura was one of my favorites. But that's my thing with Walter. Is like
him and KO have had matches that were unbelievable.
Yeah, but see, that's my thing though. You watch Walter in the ring, and not once do you sit there and think, oh, this is phony. Oh, this is BS. Oh, this is a show. No, you sit there and you watch it and you say, I'm watching a fight and I loved it and I want to see more.
Right.
You know who told me that once about how that needs to be done? That you need to have people say, that's a hell of a fight. I'm glad I got to see it. I want to see more of it. Terry Funk.
Oh, that man's whole wrestling career was like that. His whole wrestling career. Missy said not many shows are fun anymore. Luke Fury said, "Yo, what's going on, Luke?"
Yo.
Speaking of up and comers. Chris Thunder Anderson said, "That's the reaction you want. The other stuff was silly, but that was the real deal. That's what you want. Leave them questioning the reality of it all." Exactly.
Thunder Anderson knows.
Yeah. And I love that stuff. Now, I have to ask this. I actually had this written down here before all the stuff happened at the beginning of the first time we tried to fire this thing up. And I still want to ask this question because getting in the spirit of Halloween and you being an owner promoter now, what is that one character out there that just the one wrestler character out there that just screams Halloween to you? When you think Halloween, what's the first character that comes to mind?
Jackson Sane.
That was my answer. You stole my answer, Cole McAbee.
I mean, really, honestly and truly, he's the first one that comes to mind. And there's some other guys that come to mind, like Elijah Proctor. But the thing with Elijah is just that it's his presence, his entrance, and everything like that. But once he gets in the ring, he's scary for a whole nother reason. He's phenomenal talent. Cutshaw's another one, in the way of his presence and everything like that. But the changing of personalities and everything. But I mean, there's a few out there. But I mean, to me though, when I think Halloween, in regards to like the scariest that I've ever seen, or somebody that had me in awe, is always going to be the Undertaker.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. As far as big time, big show wrestling, Undertaker beats them all.
Oh yeah.
When them gongs go off, you know exactly who it is. You know exactly what you're gonna get.
I was a kid. I remember watching Survivor Series when he debuted, and it did.
He didn't look scary back then though. When he first appeared, when he first came out, I can't remember who was managing him because he came out with a manager.
Brother Love.
Yes, Brother Love. He did not look that scary. He had the cut, the cut. It was cut here. His gloves only came up to here, and it almost didn't match
to me as a child, and I never saw him before. I know that he was Mean Mark Callis in WCW, but at that time I wasn't watching WCW at that time.
Right.
So this was my first time seeing him, and when I saw him come to the ring and all this other stuff, and he had like the dark under his eyes, I was like, this is, to me, that was creepy, But then he's like,
I can understand that.
But he's beating up guys like Dusty Rhodes. He's beating up guys like Bret Hart. And, I'm like sitting there like, this is unbelievable,
I mean, the character that he grew into shortly thereafter, I mean, scary as all get out, I see where you're coming from where, back then I think I was a teenager when that happened.
But I mean, I thought the same thing with Kane when he first made his appearance when he ripped the Hell in the Cell
off the Hell in the Cell, yeah.
I was like, no, I wasn't frightened by him, but I'm like thinking for a visual for a child, I was like, this is terrifying.
Oh, when he first took off the mask.
when I'm not gonna lie, when he took off the mask, I laughed.
Right. Well, he had the eye things in there, and he looked kind of goofy, but he was scary too. I mean, he was still scary.
But it didn't hurt his character, and that's all that mattered.
The great Kabuki.
Oh, Kabuki was scary too, but I didn't get to see Kabuki quite as much. But when Muda came out, I wasn't scared of Muda. I was in awe by Muda. I loved watching the Great Muda.
Sean Duffy said Funny Bone. He's a local wrestler over there. He's been trying to get him on hashtag. Every time I ask him, he's busy. So I'm going to keep trying. But Funny Bone is a guy who face paints up. He's scary looking too. Jackson Sane and Luchasaur. There you go, without a doubt. But yeah, there's. I thought of Jackson Sane right away. My favorite time covering Jackson Sane was he actually he's not just a scary character. If you go back, he actually tells a story of how he became Jackson Sane.
Right.
He's got this 5-video promo set out there where he actually goes through and tells the story, and I love that. It was awesome, without a doubt.
Right.
But let's go back and tell everybody the information about the show before we go, because it's getting about that time.
Yep, and I was getting the cue just right then. So
I saw it. I could read the lips. Without a doubt. All right, let me make sure I get the right poster up here. There you go. All right, I'm going to let you do the info, man. It's all yours.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, October the 29th at the Union County Recreation Center, 115 Thomas Street, Union, South Carolina. Pro Wrestling Union returns with Monsters Brawl. Tickets are going to be $10 at the door, general admission. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Doors open at 6 p.m., bell time at 7 p.m. We do have a costume contest during the intermission and trick-or-treating for the kids with the wrestlers pre-show as the doors open. 3 great matches already announced. We've got women's wrestling with Brittany J taking on Jasmine Howe, the Dragon of Malice. We also got the Unlucky 13-man Battle Royale, where the winner gets a shot at the PWU Heavyweight Championship on December the 3rd against the winner of between the real Cutshaw and the interim PWU heavyweight champion, the Prince of Sports Entertainment, Drew Hood. I kind of botched it right there at the end, but that's okay. It's been a long day. I'm tired.
It's all good, man. So we appreciate you coming by. I am going to go over. I've got 9 posters queued up. I'm going to go over. There's a lot of wrestling coming up. I will hit the PWU poster again while we're doing this. But sir,
and before you do that, okay, for everybody that's running for not just this weekend, but also the weekend that the PWU show is going, I hope everybody in their area does a great job. Okay, I'm not one of these guys who is trying to undercut anybody by any means. I want to see people succeed and do great things in this business, because I'm not going to be promoting forever. Okay, and when I'm done doing it, and when I go back to being a ticket buyer or whatever my job's going to be when I'm not promoting, I want to see these guys doing great things. Scott Larson, you are a saint, even though Ron Emerson is the saint. But
yeah, don't start that argument, man. We don't need another argument started, but I appreciate it, brother. So I'm going to bid you farewell, sir. I'm going to tell you good night, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go over these cards that I have. Destiny just showed up. As a matter of fact, as soon as we get off the air here, me and Destiny's going to be watching something scary in a little bit. So we're gonna do a little bit of Halloween stuff. So all right, Mr. Cole, I'm gonna drop you out. You have a great night, sir. Have a good night with the family. Tell everybody I said good night, and we will see you on the 29th.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem. All right, guys, let's go over some shows that are coming up either this week, next week, or in early November, as some people have already got out. 3 Count Pro Wrestling presents Nightmare this Saturday at Calvary First Baptist Church, 11 Tampa Street, Greenville, South Carolina. Doors open at 6, bell time is 7. Tickets are $10 at the door. And if you want any 3 Count merch, go to 3countpro.com/store. HWA October 29th is having a trunk or treat at 217 Gilkey School Road, Rutherford, North Carolina. It's from 4:30 to 6:30. I know it says 4 to 6, but 4:30 to 6:30. Wrestling will be right after. The doors open at 6:30. Bell time is 7:30. When I get the poster, I will have it right out there to you. Saturday, October 22nd, live pro wrestling at the Kings Mountain Armory. New Millennium Championship Wrestling. 300 Pfeiffer Road, Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Doors open 6 p.m. Bell time is 7. Tickets are $10 at the door. NAWA, Wicked Brew Bash. It's a free pro wrestling show. Saturday, October 29th at Devil's Logic Brewing, 1426 East 4th Street in Charlotte, North Carolina. Beer and wrestling. Bell time is at 7 o'clock. Battle Zone Wrestling, November the 5th, Against All Odds. Check them out. You'll see Chase Emery, Myrick Moore, Zuka King, and a lot of others. Without a doubt, go on down to Williamston, South Carolina. You don't want to miss that show at all. ACCW presents Fright in Hidden Night, October 22nd. It's going to be a costume contest and free candy given out. Front row is $15. General admission is $10. 6 to 12 is $5. 5 and under are free. Doors open at 7. Bell time 7:30. 70 Hiddenite Church Road, Hiddenite, North Carolina. And let me tell you, I've been to Hiddenite. I've seen shows there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go there, there's not a bad seat in the house. Every seat is like you're right on top of the ring. We mentioned this earlier. XWW is having a Halloween massacre show. It is so big and so great. It's going to be in 2 parts. The first part is Friday, October 28th at the Chrysler Deep Dodge Ram, 200 North Carolina, 740 in Albemarle, North Carolina. The second show is going to be October 30th. It's going to be at the Monroe National Guard, 700 Charleston Street in Monroe. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. for both shows. Tickets are $10. If you want tickets, they're available at www.xwwtix.com. We just got through talking to Cole McAbee. Monsters Brawl, Saturday, October 29th at the Union County Recreation Center, 115 Thomas Street, Union, South Carolina. General admissions $10. Kids 12 and under are free. Doors open at 6. Bell time is 7. There's costume contest and trick-or-treating for the kids. AWL, American Wrestling League, is going to have November Pain coming November 13th at the Welford Pavilion, 302 Lonesome Pine Lane, Welford, South Carolina. Doors open. This is going to be a daytime show, folks. Doors open at 1:30 p.m. Bell time is 2:30. All seats are $10. They're at first come, first serve. You don't want to miss this show. A lot of great action. And last but certainly not least, Nightmare on Builders Court. American Pro Wrestling presents that on Saturday, October 29th. It's at 122 Builders Court Road in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Adults $10, kids $5. 5 and under get in free. And there are plenty of more shows out there, ladies and gentlemen, but I only had time for those. I hope you enjoyed it. Please come out. I'm going to play this video one more time for Cole McAbee and Pro Wrestling Union. Then we're going to get on out of here. Thank you guys for showing up. And that is the hashtag truth. There you go. I love it. Here we go. We're out of here. We'll see you guys Friday when we talk with Kid Cutter live on hashtag truth. Well, let's get the video going. Yeah, right. Let's try the video this time. Here we go. All right.
Pro Wrestling Union returns to Union, South Carolina for Monsters Brawl. Saturday, October 29th at the Union County Recreation Center, 115 Thomas Street. General admission $10. Kids 12 and under get in for free. It's the best value for the best professional wrestling in the upstate. Check out some of the best independent stars on the scene today as they do battle, including in the main event. It's going to be the unlucky 13-man battle royale, where the winner gets a shot at the Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Championship. Also, women's professional wrestling will be on hand as Brittany Jade will take on the Dragon of Malice, Jasmine Howe, in a singles competition. Also, interim Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion Drew Hood will be doing battle with the monster, the Real Cutshaw. All of this and more, Saturday, October the 29th, Union County Recreation Center.
Monsters Brawl.